Stop looking for money. Do this instead. By the way, if you keep on looking for money, it will run away. This was a thing that I was doing I myself back then, and I was struggling looking for that money. By the way, if you've been watching my videos for by the way, you can scroll my older videos when, let's say 2 years ago or 3 years ago when I was starting. I didn't know the concept. And I know it sounds strange when I tell you don't look for money. Does it mean now you quit what you're doing? Oh, hell no. That's not exactly what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and have a discussion on this particular video. And by the way, listen, this is good, Joseph, in case you're watching me for the first time. I major and talk about investments and finances. And I upload such kind of a video each and every day. By the way, let's get on the business. When I say stop looking for money, what do I mean? But do this instead. Do what? Are we together? I know this one disturbs the norm. I know we all know that you're supposed to look for money, or people use a certain word called make money. I'm making money. No. You can't make money. Government is the one that makes money. What do I mean? Government can actually call the printing press and say, you know what, print as much money as you can, print this amount of money. You don't make money. Guess what you do? You attract money. You attract money. By the way, listen, this is the greatest concept that you can ever get. In case you're watching me for the first time, go ahead and subscribe and like this video. Now, when I say stop looking for money, but do this instead, this is what I mean. Now, what happens is that money, it conforms to a certain norms. There are certain rules and regulations that you have to follow for you to understand how the money works. You see, you can't get money if you don't understand how money works. Why? Because if you understand how it works, then you'll have yourself a strategy on how to get it. Have you ever seen some guys making money and you feel like, anyway, these guys is like they know something that I don't? Absolutely, they do, and you don't. Now, what happens, let's say you would like to get butterflies. What happens if you want to get butterflies? You don't chase them. You don't look for them. You only make a garden with flowers. Then you attract the butterflies will come to that particular place. So you position yourself in a way that you become attractive to money more than you chasing it. I don't know whether you know this. Anything that you chase, it runs away. Let me ask a very simple question. Men can relate to this. Let's say you see a certain beautiful lady and you like to go and approach her. In most cases, when you look for her or actively look for her, she tends to kind of run away. But then if you present yourself in an attractive manner, you don't not only attract that what you want, but you also attract a lot of them. Sure, I know that's a weird example. Now, position yourself to be attractive to money. The question is, how do you position yourself to be attractive to money? Then you have to first understand what is money so that you can know what attracts money so that you can be conformed to that. There's some formula, by the way, it's called be, do, have. It's be, do, have. Become. Be is becoming. Becoming who you are meant to be. You become. Are we together? Become more valuable. If you become more valuable, how do you become more valuable? Is you learning skills. You interact with people who have money. Don't interact with people who are complaining that money is not there. Don't interact with people who are saying the economy is collapsing. There is no money. The Kenya is broke, or your country is broke, or whichever the country you come from is broke. See, the continent of Africa, there is no money. You have to catch a flight and get out of this continent and what have you. I understand it has its own fair share of challenges, just like any other continent on this great world that we have. Now, the point is, when you become is when you choose to change your mindset. To become is to change your mindset, is to change how you behave, is to change how you relate with that what you have. For example, if you want 10,000, 20,000, 40,000. Now, if you behave towards that what you have, if you show the skills of managing it, if you lay a pipeline of where the money should follow, because by the way, if you were to look the way systems work, for example, if you go to your house, do you know the electricity? The reason why you switch on that bulb and it actually lights is because there is a system line. From the way, that electricity came all the way from the production dam, if it's a hydro, whatever, electric, whatever, to your place, there is a system. If you go to the plumbing, the reason why you switch on that water, the water flows to you, you can be able to take a shower and what have you. Reason why you switch on that gas, it is lighting, things are working, systems. But for you, when it comes to money, you don't have a laid system. You just assume that money will just fall into place. No, you're supposed to have a pipeline. Have a pipeline. When the money shows up to your doorstep, you can be able to channel and direct that money towards that particular pipeline. What does it mean? It is planning your money prior it coming. slow, telling your money where to go rather than wondering where it went. If you become a manager of 10,000, if you become a proper manager of 20,000, 5,000, 6, whichever, you can actually become a manager of more money as the time goes by. But if you do not show the signs of managerial skills as far as the 5,000 is concerned, and you think like magically something will happen if you earn 100,000, you ain't gonna do anything. Now, see, when I say become, this is to become. You become attractive. The more you learn, the more you earn. You value add yourself. Interact with people. This is why we say the network is your net worth. Interact with people. Be connected. Let's say, for example, you are employed as a HR. Interact with other HR. You might actually realize you can get even a better job. You can even work on the skills of negotiating your salary. You can actually decide to take some online course somewhere. For example, if you're employed right now and you decide to learn an AI skill, you actually become more valuable because businesses are going the AI way. And then maybe one day you guys are in a boardroom, and then the boss or your director or whoever has employed your supervisor says or asks who knows how to operate this AI and what have you. There you are, you raise your hand. But of course, you tell them, for me to do this and this has to be happening. You can be able to negotiate yourself when you are more perceived. Because when you are more perceived or valuably perceived, then you'll be able to attract more money. So that is when you become. Do is now when you decide. When you become, is now you become an action-oriented individual. Because you can learn the skill, you do nothing about it. You can learn a certain thing, you don't execute, you don't exercise, you don't actually get out there. For example, let's say I was seated somewhere 2 years ago, or say 3 years ago when I started this YouTube channel. I was so attracted to me making videos on YouTube. And I had the zeal and I had the whatever. I had to learn all the skills on how to become a content creator. But I went beyond learning that to executing, doing. You do now. Now that's when now you exercise that what you have learned. That is when now you know, understand, hey, you know what? I've learned that I'm not supposed to have idle money. I'm supposed to invest that money. You go ahead and invest that particular money. I have learned that I have to interact with valuable individual, OQP, only quality people. I learned that from, Les Brown. Yeah, great guy out there. He said, interact with OQP, only quality people. I'm telling you, that's brilliant. Now, see, when you become that kind of an individual who learns, then executes, become actionable, take what we call the actionable steps, you move to the next level. If you realize that 10,000 can start your business, you go ahead and interact, you do the thing, you go ahead and expand, interact with business people. There is no way you can actually dwell in the corporate world forever, and you're saying that one day you'd like to be a business person. And if you scroll through your phone book, you don't have anybody who is actually a business individual. Interact with the business individual. That is when you take yourself to the next level. You are upping your game. For God's sake, for example, this is my number. Let's say you want to take this number of mine and call me for some consultation or for some things. Why are you calling me in the first place? Because I've been tested by time. If you check, I have over 1,200 videos as of now, that is of April 2025. Now, those videos have actually consistently producing those videos, and the clarion call is invest, manage your cash. You can do this, you can do that, you can do that. Some of you have seen me growing all the way from scratch to where I am, and who knows where God is taking us. Are we together? See, now I've proven a value to you, and I'm still I'm still upping myself. What can I say? Molding myself to be better and better as the time goes by. So the moment you identify that now this guy is valuable, he has something that we can share, or he can share with me, or I can call him for 1, 2, 3. That is after me proving that I have value. For example, what if I posted 2 or 3 videos, then I gave up, then I come again, I post another. How do you think will happen? Probably you won't be even coming here watching this video again and again and again, because it does not show consistency. It does not show me knowing what exactly I'm talking about. Now, have is now the last step that you go to. Have now is when you become, they change your mindset. You have your tool set. Then after that you have. Now have is having that what you aspire for. Now having the cash. But people usually go the inverse way. They usually start with have, be, then do. Are you together? You know what they say? Let me have the money first, then I'll change the mindset, then I'll do whatever. This is the formula that most of the people, they are so much interested with having. I just want to have, I just want to have, I just want to have the money. But having the money, there is a whole system of formula that has to be there. There is a way you're supposed to behave before the money. By the way, I was reading some things on the YouTube, because I also told you guys I learn a lot as well. I was learning on how you're supposed to behave when you're interacting with ultra wealthy people. Don't talk about yourself, don't talk about there's a way, the code of conduct, because money has its own code of conduct. There is a certain character that you're supposed to assume. There is a certain behavior that you're supposed to incorporate. There is a certain skills and understanding that you're supposed to engage, so that at least you can be that individual who is attractive to money. And this is what I was told by a certain guy back then when I was a young man. He told me, you know what, young man, the day that you'll see older people, when I say older people, you find, like, for example, say you are 30s and people at their 50, 55s, they entrust you with their car. They tell you, hey, take this car, go do this. That is the time now you start earning their trust. And the moment you earn the trust, let me not use the term trust, let me say reliability. The moment you become reliable to these people who have the cash. Because the reality is, we attract money, we don't make it. You know, the more money you make, you attract. For example, let's take an example of the ultra wealthy people on earth. Somebody like Elon Musk, somebody like Mark Zuckerberg, and what have you. They have made something that is attractive to you. It is solving your problem. That's why you can give them their money anyhow. That's why you can actually have some ads there. You can pay them, to popularize your product or a service. They have actually proven to own that particular thing. Now, the only way you can do, these people who have the money, the only way you can actually get that money from them, you actually become valuable. Any and every coin that is in someone's pocket, they have done the best that they can. They have actually involved effort, because we say it takes time and effort to make money, but brains to keep it. Therefore, everyone is actually holding that dear money that they have so sentimentally, such that for you to get it out of their pocket in a legal way, you have to really prove to them that you're valuable and you are worth taking that money from their pocket to your pocket by virtue of you solving their problem. That is exactly how it happens. Are we together? So he told me that the moment you will see older people entrusting you with their cars and maybe reliability and sending you somewhere and involving you in their conversation, then know you are heading in the right direction. But the moment you know that you're crashing with these older people, because okay, I'm not saying necessarily that the older people are the one that has money. Things are changing, the dynamics are changing. But regardless of age, the moment you see that you're actually you're being entrusted by the guys with money or people who are respectable, be it either leaders or something like that, that shows now you're wearing a certain, or you're dressing a certain character that is attractive to money, because money is energy and you cannot create it, neither can you destroy it, but you can transform it from one form to the other. And the only thing you do to attract that energy, then you must present yourself in a way that is attractive, because money isn't that thing that you guys usually think, like that physical thing. That is just a physical representation of the energy compiled in that particular note or a bill, depends on how you call it. Well, I know that's quite of a deep discussion. One day I'm gonna come here and elaborate that as the time goes by. So stop looking for money. I see people, trying to be out there looking for money. The more you look at it, or the more you look for it, the more it runs away. You chase it. You are there. That's the time now you even decide to, how can I say it? Playing the unfair games and what have you, because you don't seem to get this particular money. And I told you guys, my life was changed when I was working somewhere, and I asked myself, this building that I'm actually here, but then I used to be an interior designer. I asked myself, this house is worth over 36 million. That's like 360,000 US dollars. And I'm like, God damn, I'm being paid only $10. And I'm like, how do I even get to that particular number of amount of money? It's gonna take me years and years. Are we together? The formula that I was applying wasn't really that attractive to the money. Then I had to change the whole system of working so that I can see whether I can be able to transform myself, to the next level. For God's sake, I'm still trying the best as I can and coming here to share that idea with you. And if you'd like to see my journey, you can go check it out myself from 3 years ago on these videos of mine, and you can see where I came from, and we are still pushing on. That's why I tell you, hey, you know what? I'm not a motivational speaker, neither am I a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who talks about money and people takes it as an advice. That's me. So anyway, guys, this is me, and that is it. I hope you guys are clear to that what I've told you, and not because I have a manual for life, but because I think we all have something that you can share to each other. And I'm a subscriber, just like an iron sharpens another iron. So do we learn from each other? For now, it's a goodbye, and see you in the next one. But don't forget, that's my number in case you need my services in one way or the other. See ya.